Welcome to DreamLeague Season 5. We are live from the DreamHack Monster Energy Studios, and we are here with what is the last day of the season. Grand Finals day today. We have 2 series. We are in the playoffs. There's 3 teams remaining of the 4 that started yesterday. And of course, we have a lot of money that these teams are playing for. We have $100,000 up for grabs. Actually, that's not true, because $10,000 already got taken by No Diggity yesterday because they lost against Virtus.pro. And against Na'Vi. Am I saying that right? Virtus.pro is actually the only team that they didn't play against. Am I saying that right? No, it was Virtus.pro. It was very late yesterday, so my brain is kind of in shambles. We are, of course, here with some awesome people.
No judgment.
We have Dakota, we have Waga, and we have Jake or Slacks. Nicknames are pretty awkward sometimes, because I always call you Dakota, and then all of a sudden I have to say Cuddle Guy, and then Slacks actually was wondering, or someone was wondering earlier, he was sitting in your chair, and he's saying, what was Cuddle Guy called before he went into Dota? Because Cuddle Guy is obviously from the hero Keeper of the Light.
Before Cuddle Guy, I was Jeddah, which is a character from Night Stalkers, and before that, when I was playing Dota 1, I was known as Him.
Him.
H-I-M. Just Him.
Him.
I like that name. It was pretty badass.
Why did you not stick with him?
Because I decided to get drunk and dress up as Coddle, and I became Coddle Guy.
Woo! Fair enough.
See, a lot of people have one night of drinking and they get regrets. Coddle Guy makes a career out of it.
What about you and your nicknames? I heard it was a coin flip between Slacks and what?
No.
Something very appropriate. Don't worry about it.
Great stuff.
How are you doing today, Waga?
I'm doing well.
I mean, you're the one that got the evening off.
Actually, I'm very well rested, yeah. I mean, I'm very thankful for Shane. He stood up for this.
I heard that when Shane went to bed,
Yes.
you made some, like, okay, so the beds are fairly close together,
They're very
guys.
close together.
They're very
I'm
close.
used to
They're very
sleeping with
close
someone,
together.
right? I'm used to sharing beds
Yes.
now.
So Shane, you know, gets in bed, sleeps, and then Waga, like, half awakes, semi-awakes,
Definitely not awake.
makes some noise, realizes there's someone in the bed with him, moves over, lays his hand on his chest, on Shane's chest.
He
and
has
just
a
goes to
very,
sleep.
very soft chest, so resting my head on him, you know. Well, the thing is, he didn't push me off, though. He just takes a picture instead and lets, you know, we slept great. We're well rested.
I did not know it was a picture, so I will definitely
Yeah.
have to check this picture out.
Yeah, someone will hack Shane's phone, I'm sure.
This got weird.
Well, very comfortable sleep then for you.
Yes, yes, I feel invigorated.
Good to hear.
Oh my God.
Does it make you come up with any, like, if you're so well rested, does it make you come up with any new builds that you want to try out in pubs?
Oh, for sure. I mean,
brain working
there's this
overhours.
one build that is really just centered around dropping your item. And
Oh God.
Slacks, I really want to pitch this for you here. It's tiny, and you go blink into Echo Saber.
Oh,
And
wow.
did you know every time you drop your Echo Saber and pick it up again, it resets your next attack to be instant?
Oh, that's cool, man.
So it's a nice little trick, dude. And it's really good. You don't have to buy any attack speed for the
So
rest
how
of the
do
game.
you make sure that nobody steals or kills your Echo Saber?
I mean, you just don't get stunned.
God, oh
If you don't get
God.
stunned, you're
That's the strat.
fine. I have so far not lost my Echo Saber once, Slacks.
You're disgusting.
And as much as Slacks doesn't like efficiency, I have only lost 1 mana boots in my entire Dota career.
Why are you
from
doing this?
dropping my mana
You
boots.
are
I lost a pair of
you're
face boots as well, but
community
that's-
figure. Do you understand this? There are thousands upon millions of people that watch you.
Echo Saber tiny with blink,
Stop!
great against Enchantress,
Stop!
instant attack even against Untouchable.
You're like Bear Grylls.
great.
You're like, hey guys, let's go into the frickin' mountains, jump inside a freezing river. Yeah, I've never frickin' died before.
Do you know
Yeah,
how
be
efficient
fun.
he is?
No, dude, you have a different thing. You have a higher skill set. You're 8,000 MMR. You're gonna tell these 1,000 MMR
That's
kids.
how I got 8,000
drop your
MMR. Dropping
Echo Saber.
items.
Oh God.
I'll pick the support that has the stun
Okay, we
to
have-
take
we're
your
too-
Echo
I mean,
Saber.
you can't talk. You're an Earth Spirit picker.
Well,
Yes.
to be fair though, dropping Echo Saber and picking it up is faster than dropping
Stop!
mana boots and soul
Stop!
ringing. Because
Stop!
you only drop it and pick
Stop!
it up immediately.
You don't
It's
see
much
the
faster.
fallout of
It's
what you
safe.
do. I see it. I do fails of the week. Every week I have to go through 300 clips of kids dropping their items and say efficiency, and then see them denied.
Yes, but you don't see the
and
ones
lose
who
the
rise
game.
to the stars, Slacks. You are not there to see these new kids emerge and become the new Sumail.
Or the new
you know?
Swindle Melons, you know?
Or that. Yeah.
If there's two people I want, it's the male and swindle melons.
Okay.
We need about 20 more of those, please.
So we have had a very long day yesterday.
Jesus.
We actually had 14 hours of Dota.
Oh.
Now somehow, someone managed to put those 14 hours into 2 minutes of a highlight clip of yesterday's Dota 2 games. Let's take a look at that.
She gets wasted there. And now with the jump, the crush onto Yapsel, moving in 1-2. He's got Miracle, finds one. Yeah, still got the BKB. Poison Nova comes out. That's just 2. No turn out. BKBs moves for Sinner and Core out again. The Boulder Smasher and Crit catching 2. They're going to lose them here. The Lotus Orb Omni, meaning that neither taking the damage that they were looking for. And with the Yule set up on Terra, it's going to be another one for OG.
Oh god, Dendy bursting down FNG.
Response from Yoku to drop down the coil to prevent them from making any sort of further advancement, but the damage may have already been done here from Na'Vi. As you see, the benefit of that Moonshard art style, just Olympic javelins to fly out, boom, 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 and he's going to get a double kill. Godlike for him.
So they're gonna try their very hardest. Win the BKB.
Then he's back in.
Boy.
He will get silenced up, have to reposition, but they're going to take G down again, Waga. He's out for good.
Yeah, that's it.
This is it.
Ask yourself, do they have the damage to deal with Miracle? He's got a heart, he's got a bloodstone, he's got everything, and he's moving in art style. Pops the hand, have got General still. Looking for the opening, maybe they can. Look at the Hex out to Miracle. Can they bring him down? Can they bring him down? He's falling low. Miracle gets himself onto the sidelines. He's still alive in this one. General, he's got to get himself out. He gets the Chrono out. Is he going to go down? He is. The axes fly through from Moon. They're going to lose the Void on the back of a die back here. Now OG moving in for more. Ditcherard's got it's a double kill for Moon. 3 dead. 5 backs available with Ditcherard, but it looks like it won't matter at this point as GG is cool. Sinner on the run, but gets swapped in. Kezu with the vacuum wall onto 3. They'll follow through with the Earthspirit combo. G's falling low, but he gets the BKB out here in the midst with the Ravage coming through there. The first one, Sinner, and he's got 2. 3 as the Sonic Wave flies through. Yapsa and Groik for the only 2 left alive. And GG is called.
Yeah, a lot of great games. I think we got very lucky in having so many amazing games, and all best of 3s went to that 3rd game, showing how close these teams actually are in terms of skill. Obviously, we had to say goodbye to one team. Turned out that was No Diggity, so we won't be seeing them today anymore. But amazing games played yesterday. And I think No Diggity showed that they are definitely up there. They were able to take a game off OG.
Yeah. I mean, they had a really great run, and it was a nice event for them, too, luckily, for how DreamLeague is set up. I mean, they made a great amount of cash in the qualifier round. They went to go in the finals. They did their best.
Yeah,
I mean, they got $18,000 out of it. That's pretty good for a freshly shaped team.
Yeah.
And they're still here in spirit, you know.
He pointed to his Ghostbuster shirt. You guys, it was a very beautiful, but I don't know. I mean, it's a team to take seriously, and a lot of people think that it's just because Cinderin and all these other big names are on the team, and it's just, you know,
They got that synergy going.
they got it. They're not to be trifled with. What do you think, Carl?
I'm curious to see what's in store for the future of No Diggity. If this is something they want to keep moving forward with, if they want to consider making adjustments. I mean, some of our favorite teams sometimes just have to make roster changes to be the best on the block. And I'm curious if that's the motivation for No Diggity or not. I think their lineup is pretty stellar as it is, but who knows how far they want to really take it.
Having talked to, well, we had Moon here being interviewed, and he spoke really highly of how strong No Diggity are for such a new team.
Yep.
And having talked to Cinderin as well after their games, I asked him, you know, obviously they're playing a different style now, and he's like, yeah, we need to expand our horizons. I mean, the way they approach Dota is basically they learned one strategy really well, interchangeable heroes, but doing the same thing. And now they just need to expand their horizons, and they will still have the same strat to go back to. And I think it's a much better aspect to just perfect something and then go on, compared to just doing everything and trying to do everything at once.
Yeah.
My favorite quote, As Bruce Lee said, Bruce Lee, I fear the man who has practiced a kick 1,000 times rather than the man who knows 1,000 kicks.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow. And with that, let's take a look at the brackets.
I'm going to kick you.
Okay.
1,000 times? Or?
I'll kick him 1,000 times.
So, yeah, No Diggity obviously no longer in here, but we still have 3 teams here. We're going to start out with Navi versus Virtus Pro.
Yeah, run
Yeah,
back.
boy.
And we saw them facing up yesterday. You two actually commentated that match.
It's going to be deja vu. We get to cast it all over again, but CSI Bloodbath is...
Yep. There was not enough
CSI.
blood.
I said CSI.
CSI Bloodbath, guys.
Oh boy, it's a new episode.
Don't need the CSI for the Bloodbath that the CIS will do.
No, but in all seriousness, I mean, every single one of those games was a bloodbath. They're super aggressive, super intense, as we would come to expect. Even the energy in the studio explodes when these two teams are playing together, so
Yeah.
I can't wait to see
There
it
actually
again.
the 2 only teams here that are really audible when they play
Yeah.
out of the teams. And it's lovely to see
And
them
I think
getting
they
the first
do it
blood.
because like they can hear each other a little
for
bit as well.
sure.
Like when they shout really loud, you hear that someone's shouting.
When they get a kill, they're louder than the casters are, you know, and
Yeah.
everything. So
Psychological warfare, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, it's going on. But we saw them yesterday. I mean, they went 2-1 in favor of Navi at that point.
Yep.
But is it going to be any different? Are we going to see the same team winning? Are we going to see Navi winning
Well, what
again?
we saw
What's gonna-
yesterday, I don't think we're going to see Navi open the same way that we saw yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, maybe they were taking game number 1 as a bit of a feeler because their draft was a bit suspect. Committing that late Huskar was
I agree.
peculiar.
Picking the Huskar into Lifestealer and stuff like that was just very awkward. I feel draft
Awkward.
was very important yesterday during the entire day, not just this
Yeah.
series.
True.
And
Yeah.
I think the same thing is going to happen here. Navi VP, it's extremely important what kind of heroes they end up with after a drafting phase. And
I
that can
don't know.
decide
I
a
mean,
lot.
these guys have scrimmed each other a lot, too. They're from the same region. They know each other very, very well. So, you know, I'm pretty sure they knew that this was coming. They'd be facing each other again, so we're going to see some A-game stuff coming out in this series for sure.
Now, these two teams will probably build their own meta in itself, but
Yeah.
it's going to be, I wonder which one team is going to pull out something like a tried and true that's worked out for them. Like, let's say Navi are able to creep in that Ditch Your Raw Lycanthrope. That's something that, you know, Virtus, we
It's
haven't
been
seen yet.
banned out
It's
so
been
many
usually respect
times.
banned.
You can't
but
let
Such a shame.
one draft, it's going to be
Yeah.
ignored, or if not the Lycan, something like the Wisp might finally see the light of day.
Yeah.
And then you have to prepare yourself for that kind of game. Also, Alchemist was banned throughout the whole day yesterday.
Yeah.
He might see some light today, and then you have to make
God.
sure that you're prepared to play that kind of a game.
We just
Yeah,
ban
he
him
got
more.
banned a lot yesterday, but it was always in the second phase as well. Someone
Yeah.
could go greedy and go for the early alch, but it is punishable. And there's also a lot of Night Stalker play. Aggression is all around, so it's scary to go for such a greedy hero.
So which team is going to go up against OG in the finals then?
The winner.
Wow,
This
got
guy.
him. Great job, Waga. All right, so which team is going to make it? I mean, it really could go either way. They're both, in my opinion, similarly skilled.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to give it to VP. They had a very strong
Okay.
showing. I said Navi
He said that
was...
because he was talking smack about you before. FNG over
He
here.
is going
I said
back.
Navi was going to win this tournament. I thought that they've been doing great. I said this is their
and then,
league.
And then FNG
And then
threatened you
FNG,
right
I was
there.
walking to my car yesterday, and he pushed me into an alley. No, I'm just kidding.
You're burning bridges right now. You're
No,
looking
but-
over. We get the predictions. Both the teams are just watching us right now. Like, who do you
I
think?
said Navi was going to win the whole thing from the start.
We're going to win, right?
But the improvement that I've seen from VP, I mean, they're on an upward angle. They're trying
Yeah, they
weird
really are.
things, and they're
Yeah.
working really hard at it. And I don't know. I mean, it could be anybody's game, but I think it'll barely be VP. Barely.
They're riding high. They came off a pretty nice series against No Diggity.
Yep.
An impressive performance by Yoku pulling out, they pulled out the Tide Hunter. So I feel like they're going to be more comfortable today. Hopefully they're well rested.
Uh-huh.
They had to stay pretty late.
Yeah,
but,
Yeah.
that could be a factor. What do you guys think?
I actually think that Navi are going to take it. It's going to be a great series, though, because I love watching these two teams clash out. Just because they have such a good understanding of what the other team wants to do,
Yeah.
it becomes a very intense mind game. But again, I'm just looking towards whoever gets the edge in the drafting. But I think Navi showed really well yesterday in
Yeah.
the second and third game that they can play really well.
Hey, you agree there, Cottle? Or
Yeah, just like Waga said, the whole theme yesterday was all about the draft, getting the one ahead. We saw teams even go like double, triple mind game with how they wanted to roll some of these heroes. We'll probably be seeing it again today. So
Yeah. And
I
if
feel
you're
like
a bet-
skill-wise, they both can show
Right.
that they have that
Yes.
A-game potential and could meet OG in the grand final. It's just who's going to walk out with a better strategic game plan.
I mean, if you're a betting man, you do want to go with Na'Vi. They did already beat VP once, so I mean, they could
If you
obviously
would play
do it
the
again.
odds.
Yeah, if you play the odds, if you're on the hat websites.
Actually, if you would play the odds, you normally go for the one that's having the lower chance, right? That's the thing about playing the odds.
I mean,
Yes.
yeah, that depends.
I would say it's probably 60-40 Na'Vi.
60-40. We got percentages now.
That would just be my own personal
I think it's
assessment.
32-74.
That's I don't know. It's gonna be way
Nice
more
odds.
even.
So it's
Gentlemen,
some
you two-
110%.
You two are gonna be casting
Yes, we are.
the
Ooh.
lower bracket finals. So I'm gonna let you prepare for that one
Thank
when
you,
it is
Shiver.
time to get our next two guests up on the chairs. We'll be right back.
Woohoo!
And the band is back together again with Andy and Shane. Welcome back, guys.
Hello.
I feel like a guest.
You feel like a guest?
Yeah, because you're
What?
introduced as a guest.
Yeah, exactly. That's
You
the
are
whole
a
point.
guest.
This is your home.
So now I'm like refreshed. You know, it's a new
Are you
way
the
of looking at things.
oldest person that's been on DreamLeague ever? Like,
Probably.
Yeah, I would imagine
By
so.
a couple
Yeah.
hundred years at least.
no, I meant like in duration of DreamLeague. Yeah, you're the oldest. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
How does that
OG.
make you feel?
These are my friends, by the way.
Who?
Shane.
These?
Not you.
Is he multiples?
These are my...
Maybe you were included.
It's
Shiva.
more like a. It's not to say these is in multiple. It's just like these type of people are my friends. You know what I mean?
What are
What
these?
is-
Yeah,
Should have been more clear.
explain.
A jerk. You're a
Oh.
jerk.
I'm really
That's what I'm
nice.
saying.
Aw.
You're the oldest person to have ever been on DreamLeague. Clearly. Clearly, I'm the
He
oldest.
didn't mean
I didn't
it
mean
that
it like
way.
age-wise.
He's a jerk.
Okay.
That's even worse.
Those type of people.
I thought you meant legacy-wise.
No, Ted was here.
age-wise.
He's like 100 years older than you.
And LD is also older than me, and he was also here.
really?
Yeah.
Actually, hello.
And yeah, she's
No,
also older
no,
than me.
no, I thought I was talking.
But nobody thinks about that because, you know,
Yeah, brains. They
I'm the
don't work that way.
youngest. Just
No,
a
no.
lad.
Nobody is surprised about that.
I like mayonnaise.
Okay, gentlemen, we have got our
God.
lower bracket finals right around the corner. It's going to be a redo of yesterday. We saw them play against each other. Virtus.pro, Na'Vi. Initial thoughts about how this series is going to go down?
I was kind of inclined to agree. Wasn't it Dakota who said it would be 60-40 Na'Vi?
Yeah.
Is that what he said? I'm
did.
kind of on that train, actually. I think they played a very fast-paced game. I thought that their cohesion was on point. The games that they lost, I feel like every time I see a Na'Vi draft, I never think it's going to win. But they always win with it. You know what I mean? It's like so weird because, okay, so this is my mentality.
Yeah.
If they can make a draft work that I think is not as good as the enemy team's draft, and they can do it that consistently, there's got to be something going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just feel like I've doubted them enough. I'll say that they're going to win the series. I'll say it'll be 2-1, but I'll say Na'Vi.
I'm actually going to go more in favor of Na'Vi. Like, I actually think the game that they lost yesterday against VP, like, they kind of just last picked this Huskar thing, and it wasn't really...
It was a bit odd.
Yeah, maybe someone just like,
That
I want to
was
play
like the-
Huskar, you know?
Yeah.
And they're
That
like, okay.
happens sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
That was the one-off situation, I think, for them. The one
Yeah,
where it was like
exactly,
way too
yeah.
far left of center, but it still was a pretty close game.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, how do they keep picking these lineups and just like not getting crushed?
Because
It's
they,
really
they
weird.
battle so well.
Yeah,
It's-
they actually fight extremely well. Their supports have been on point. Dendi has also had some pretty standout performances. So I'm looking at this team and I'm saying, you know, skill-wise, I think they probably just edge VP out, honestly.
Okay. That's actually very depressing for Virtus.pro. Did they have no chance?
I mean, they're not a
to-
bad
No,
team.
it's
No,
not.
no.
I
No,
said it would be 2-1. I didn't say they were going to
Yeah,
get stomped
but you're
in
still
two
saying that they
15-minute
would lose.
games.
Everybody's saying
No,
that they would lose.
I don't. They won't lose. You want to know why Master Chief saved the universe? He wasn't the most skilled shooter.
Who's
He
Master-
wasn't
wait,
the strongest.
Isn't that
who's
Halo?
Master Chief?
Master Chief
Yeah, I don't know.
from Halo.
That's Halo, yeah.
He wasn't the best shooter. He wasn't the strongest. What he was the luckiest. VP was gonna be knocked out. They made
luckiest.
it. VP was gonna do this.
This
they
is
still
such a
made it.
crappy
Okay,
selling
they made
point,
it. They
dude.
made it. VP has the skills. They have the fate.
But you just say
The
that they
luck.
didn't have the skills, they just had luck.
They have enough skills, but they got the love in their hearts to go.
So you're
come
saying
The
through.
love in their heart.
They
They
need
have
it
to
more.
pick RNG heroes.
Sure.
Okay.
Don't pick Alchemist or Naga Siren. That's all
Chaos
this
Knight.
tournament has taught me.
PA.
Axe.
For you two, we have like you both are saying that in this scenario, Virtus.pro is slightly the underdog. coming into this match.
Yeah, but they are very heavily
Okay.
practiced against each other. So I'm
Yes.
assuming
Yeah.
that VP come into the series knowing full well what's going to be coming. So no matter what happens, I think there's just going to be like nonstop fighting. Whoever plays the faster game, as PPD said at Epicenter, is probably just going to win the game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, are they, like VP are probably prepared for the Ench and the Chen both. I wonder how they tailor their bans actually in the first phase. It's actually what I want to see the most going into this, because they've already played each other once.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And it did not go well. So.
And the last game they had against each other, it was Virtus.pro finally getting their hands on the Drow Ranger, which got banned out like most of the series yesterday against Virtus.pro. Finally get their hands on it, and I think, Shane, you were the ones to say, well, you know, the Drow Ranger, they're going to win this unless Na'Vi can destroy them in the laning stage, which is exactly what they did.
They knew exactly how to play around it. Like, they've obviously played against Drow Ranger a lot of times. They just put Artstyle on as Enchantress, and they have a Night Stalker, these kind of really aggressive early game heroes, and they just pressured the safe lanes like so much. They were diving the tier 2 tower at like minute 3 or
Yeah, it
something
was
like
insane,
that.
actually.
It was ridiculous. And I think the main heroes in this series are Venge, like Night Stalker, like Oracle, these like early game aggressive heroes that allow people to kind of dive or be saved in certain situations.
Even Oracle?
The Oracle Night Stalker yesterday was ridiculous.
See a lot of Disruptor, that early game support. That's great for team fights. That's like a CIS
VP
region
has been loving that
staple.
hero, actually.
Yeah, and then you got the Beastmaster, which is all about early game vision and stuns. I mean,
I think that will just be banned every game.
It's about murder.
It's kind of funny to see Disruptor
Maybe.
picked up as much still by Virtus.pro. I mentioned yesterday that Alolan Dance at Epicenter play like amazing Disruptor. Like he was their Disruptor player, and now he's on to Core. So obviously he's not playing Disruptor anymore. But No Fear, I think it was No Fear yesterday that proved, you know, he's pretty good in that hero too. He's still forced to be reckoned with.
I mean, he's honestly the perfect aggression hero, because you can get people in that early game where kills count so much. You can get them out of position with Glimpse. You can control team fights. I mean, he's just so good. And then late game too. If you're uphill defense with the Disruptor, you can hold out for a long time.
I think a key hero in this is Enchantress. Like FNG here plays the hero amazingly.
But they haven't
and
been,
Artstyle plays it
they
a
haven't
lot
been
too.
playing it at all, right? Except, no, and even in the Na'Vi series, it was
No,
pretty
but
much.
they-
They played Chen instead. Or
They
was
do-
that not them?
I don't know if they played Chen either, actually.
But they did play it earlier in the DreamLeague.
yeah, in the league
And it
phase,
was amazing, to be honest. And on Artstyle on Na'Vi as well. They both play the hero. And it allows that early game, like tempo controlling, early rotations at level 1 or 2.
The thing I still am curious about is, do VP just go with the standard IO and then Beastmaster ban against Na'Vi? Because a lot of teams have been doing that. It's like...
Siniko, you know. You
Yeah.
can't let the man have
You can't
IO.
Well,
let
the
them
other thing
have
is, like,
IO.
you can't let General have Beast, and I think the reason that people, you know, you asked me earlier why they're not picking Bat is because General usually gets either the Mirana or the Beastmaster instead of Bat if they're available, and if you always just ban Beastmaster, you don't care about Bat as much, because from VP's perspective, they're just not playing it right now. So, you know, these heroes kind of come in and out of circulation, so for me, I think the first kind of game is going to set the tone for the series itself, like what heroes are going to be the most prioritized, and I don't really think... Like, they might vary it up a little bit, and, you know, Na'Vi said they do have a couple of plans for OG in the future, but I think this is when they just stick to the Dota that they're best at, which is just constant aggression, you know, 15 minutes, we're diving your tier 3 towers or whatever. So,
One hero that snuck through yesterday in the last game of the series where Virtus.pro managed to beat out No Diggity and eliminate them from the tournament was Doom.
Yeah.
No Fear Doom.
that draft actually was probably, in my opinion, the biggest outdraft of the entire LAN so far.
Was it FNG playing?
It was No Fear playing Doom.
Okay.
Yeah, no fear Doom. So basically, they had this. They had
This
this Tide
fat
Hunter.
Tide Hunter. I was I
Yeah,
remember that. Yoku
the weird
Tide.
thing to me was you said they picked Spectre into Tide.
Yeah, it was.
Because I
it
didn't
went-
actually see the order
It
of the
went
draft.
Shadow Shaman, Tide, Spectre.
That is so bizarre, actually. Like, it is insane.
Yeah, because
that-
when we were looking at the draft, I was like, what are they doing?
yeah, yeah.
They already.
I don't know, but to me, when I saw that game, I saw Yoku's laning phase, and I'm like, there's almost no way they can lose this game. Because Sven is good against Spectre, pretty much. Yoku had as much farm as a safe laner, maybe even more.
He
So-
was one of the richest Tide I've seen in a very long time.
He was just doing the backstroke the entire time.
Oh, Dandy.
Wasn't for long.
Tinty.
Spirits
always
are
so
high.
happy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
spirits are
Amazing.
high. That's important on a team,
It definitely is, yeah.
keeping the mood up. So good. So, Virtus.pro gonna try to beat Na'Vi. What's their biggest weakness?
What's VP's biggest weakness?
No,
Or
Navi's
Navi's
biggest weakness. That Virtus Pro is going to exploit.
I would say their drafting is still their biggest weakness, actually.
Okay.
I think that their drafts very often rely on execution. The good thing about the team, and this is why their team works so well, is because even though their drafting is the weakest aspect of it, they're so good at executing their drafts that it literally doesn't matter. Like, we were sitting back there with No Diggity the other day, and I was talking to them, and like, am I the only one who thinks that every time I see a Navi draft, I'm always going for the other team? And literally everyone else there was like, yeah, Navi's drafts are a little bit weird, but they always make it work. And I'm just like, okay, well, I guess that's just how they roll. So
Maybe the weird thing is not their weakness, but the weird drafting is
it's
actually
like
one of
their
their
weakness
strengths.
is their strength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing about this team.
Do they have anything that Virtus Pro then can exploit still?
I think
because
the way they protect Dendy so much kind of weakens their other lanes
Yeah,
quite heavily.
It does.
So if you pick like strong offlaner, strong carry, and just kind of allow Dendy to do his own thing and then worry about that a little bit
They're
later.
super predictable.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
yeah.
they have never really done anything like totally off the wall. But if you think about Newbie, for example, at Epicenter when they were playing, like they did eventually get figured out. But for such a long time, they were doing the kind of same stuff.
Yeah.
And they were just destroying everyone. I think that's kind of what Navi are to a lesser extent, obviously, because they didn't win like 29 games in a row. But still, I mean, it's a predictable style, but it works for them.
Yeah.
So if VP can, find a way to exploit that, the predictability of, protecting Dendy mid, how much they rely on him to control the tempo, make sure that General doesn't get a hero that he can kind of run away with, because that's the other thing about this team. Prior to General entering it, they didn't really have another player who was going to, create that much space. Even when Funnick played for them in the past, like he would do all right. He was stable, but he never just had a performance where you're like, how does this Bat Rider kill in a 3v1 lane or whatever?
Yeah.
He never made those types of plays. But General's that guy. So you have two people that you kind of have to worry about, I think, if you're VP now.
They also kind of draft very greedily. Like they open up with a Chen bounty quite a lot
But that didn't
Yes.
work, right?
to no success.
That, yeah, it literally is.
No,
That is like, I think, one of the hardest openings to make work.
because your lanes are automatically really weak.
Yeah. It's like if your bounty and your Chen rotations fail, you are just instantly losing the game.
But that's what we were talking about earlier, like how weird their drafts are. And
Yeah.
so it didn't work a few times here, but they've obviously practiced it and are very confident in it that they did it a few times, So.
Yeah. We'll have to see, though. I don't really see Navi changing too much. VP, I'm assuming they have some kind of game plan. I think they're a bit more versatile in terms of hero pool as well. What they can put against Navi.
Out of all the teams that draft in Dota in general, I actually really like VP's drafts the most because they always have these ridiculous synergy drafts.
Yeah.
They always go for like aura strategies or minus armor, but there's always kind of like a theme to their draft. Whereas some teams
The
go
way
for the
they
more
itemize, too.
well-rounded team.
The way that VP itemized, I think, is amazing. Like yesterday, like No Fear going for the Crimson, they split up like the Greaves and the Blink Dagger and everyone, and you two are just standing over there smiling. But I'm assuming that Jake just in his happy place because he doesn't have to say anything.
Yeah, this is
But-
great. Keep talking.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm liking VP a lot, but I feel like if I say Navi won't win, I just feel like they'll win again. Because I've been saying that the entire time. And I'm just like, I'm always wrong.
You know the development that both teams have shown yesterday? That's the only teams that I've seen so far do it. Mirana offlane.
Yeah.
And it's been
Yeah.
working out as well.
General on it was that E-Blade Dagon.
I mean, it's also, he said it was his favorite hero to play right now.
Yeah.
And I think that doesn't make a difference. That you're just also...
Oh,
Yeah, I think it
100%.
absolutely makes a difference. Because if you like playing a hero, it's just like anything else. If you like it, you want to be good at it.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be crap at something that you enjoy. So you play the hero a lot in pubs. You play it in scrims.
This
And
is
then
like,
it's like-
I don't want to be crap at Dota. I enjoy it a lot still, though.
You also just feel more
But I'm
comfortable
just saying the
as well.
motivation is there.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know
oh,
what
yeah,
I
that's
mean? Like
true.
you're going to keep grinding out games. You're going to find out what the best build is.
I think that's the trick to everybody loving Dota.
Yeah.
Everybody just knows they can get better.
Yeah.
We also interviewed Navi in the past, and they were like, how do you draft, or who's in control of the draft? And they're
Yeah.
like, people just kind of say what they want, and like, then Arts says,
That sounds like an FNG
Yeah.
thing, too. I think it's just
Yeah.
CIS Dota in general. They're like, what hero are you comfortable on? We're just going to play fast-paced Dota. Let's pick some gaming heroes. Let's go game.
let's go fight.
That's what they do.
Yeah, I think FNG is like, just asking G, hey,
Yeah.
what do you want to play
Every-
today?
Every time we interview him, he's like, I don't know, dude. I just pick heroes. Like, G says he wants something, I pick it for him, and then, we either win or we lose.
Yeah.
It's like, all right. It's about as simple as it gets.
I think for Navi, you have Soneko there who's drafting right now.
Yep.
You have General who used to draft. You have Arcel who used to draft. So you've got three big minds already that can come together and just you have more
Input.
cooks, if you will. But if you know that one has the final say, more input, maybe more strategies
definitely.
therefore. Maybe.
Oh, man. Am I the only one who doesn't care about this? It's not about draft. It's not about all this planning. This is CIS Dota. These dudes have been playing against each other for so long. They just want to kill and fight and hit. Look at them. They're ready to go. It's not about thinking. It's about murder. Welcome to Russian Dota. Whoa!
It might be the first time I've ever said this, but Jake has a point.
It's not about all this. What's the highest win percentage?
All right, just take it easy. You have a
Murder
point.
time, baby.
Take the small victory.
Maybe you should make a wrestling video with all the CAS players in it.
I don't have to, because there's enough carnage about to explode on this stage right now.
I mean, no one's going to outdo my time in the ring anyway, so you might as well just go ahead and retire that video anyway.
Oh, boy.
Statistically speaking, I was the one that was supposed to win, by the way.
Oh, my God. We got a Wisp.
All right.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Oh, they let Wisp through.
They let
Okay.
Wisp
They
through.
let the Wisp through.
Yeah, indeed.
A
So,
foolish
Oh,
mistake.
they banned Beast Ench. Okay.
Yeah.
so we got Beast Eng banned by Virtus Pro, Doom Night Stalker banned by Na'Vi. First pick goes to Virtus Pro on the Dire side with the Disruptor first pick. Very unusual.
Well, it's the
Well, if
best
they're letting
counter.
the IO through.
Yeah, Disruptor is not unusual at all. I mean, as
Well,
we
in the
said,
first phase, not, but,
Yeah, but
as
only
the
because
first
of
pick.
the
Yeah.
IO,
for
yeah,
sure, for
if
sure.
they know that IO. Why did they not pick up the IO themselves?
I think they're probably not honestly as good with IO, I think, as
Well,
Na'Vi, but
always-
at the same time, it's kind of like one of those things where you know that they're going to snap pick the IO, and this is their answer, right? They get the Bounty Hunter, which is good against the Chen and the IO respectively for the first couple levels of the game. It's amazing synergy with the Disruptor, and this is like the counter plan, basically, to the opening. Because, like we've talked about, Navi's one of their weaknesses is predictability, right? So this opening from Na'Vi, if I see those first two bans, you almost instantly know.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even have to be a top-level analyst to know that they're going to pick Wisp and they're going to pick Chen. Like, it's just going to happen. So if you know that going in, it's like, okay, what's our best option? We have this hero who can really screw over Chen during the laning phase. We have Track, we have Glimpse. On top of that, we have good team fight. If they fail their push, we're going to be getting a ton out of every single failure. And it's really solid. It's a good answer to what Na'Vi have put up here.
By the way, I did get the the thing in my ear saying the draft has started, but these two teams since then they picked so fast. They banned out
they're
so
blazing
fast.
through this, but
This is how you know that these two teams have played each other so many times in the past.
And VP seemed to have a pretty good plan what's going into this. I would say I originally thought that the series would be 2-1. Depending on how this draft rolls out, I'm kind of already liking what VP are doing a little bit more, but I always think that when I'm watching Na'Vi.
Yeah.
I always think
It's the
that.
trap.
So I'm like trying to hold myself back. I gotta wait to see more.
You gotta believe.
Yeah.
Navi need a core that sets up like a relocate, like maybe a Bat Rider or something like.
Shane, if you say
Bat
maybe
for
a
general,
Bat Rider, one
Wind
more
Ranger is
No,
also
but
something that
okay.
they've done quite a bit.
They need some way to set up a relocate.
Yeah, true.
They need like otherwise, well, what's the point?
No, I agree. You definitely need that hero.
No,
Okay,
that
it's gonna be the
Puck.
puck.
Oh, we've seen a lot of Puck running in this region, and
Yeah.
he is very good for all that early game aggression, all
He's
that
good,
team
but
fight.
it's actually, I think it might be okay just because the Bounty will probably spend most of his time messing with the Chen. So he's probably he has to decide: does he want to give Dendi a harder time, or does he want to give our style a harder time? Because I think in this situation, if you just stick to the Chen, normally the Chen wants to help Dendi, but if the Bounty Hunter's just on you the whole time, it makes it really difficult to help that lane. So maybe VP can find a way to get a mid matchup that's going to be favorable, and then just abuse the middle lane because the Bounty will be controlling the supports.
Yeah, that's very interesting because you're typically pretty rough on Puck picks. You don't think you think that Puck
No, I
only
like
works
Puck.
once in a while.
I
I know you
really
like
like
Puck,
Puck.
but you're always like, oh, this is gonna be a hard game for Puck. This one you like
But
it,
I
huh?
think the int change really helped him because he can clear creep waves super fast. One
Yeah.
of his problems before is like you're not really a good slide lane pusher. It's really hard for you to maintain consistent on farm.
Okay.
And the other part is the new Veil is super good for him in the early game. Like she was even buying it prior to getting Blink Dagger yesterday when they were playing, and it's very strong. So
All right, talk to me about Sven, Shane.
Honestly-
you made a big noise.
oh my god, this is so all in.
I
This is
100%
so all
thought that
in.
Na'Vi were gonna pick Sven, and I think that VP thought the same. So they're like, we're gonna counter pick it with the.
The Drones
and they're
trap.
It's
This
murder
is an
time.
extremely volatile draft from Na'Vi.
And this
It's
is
like-
this is not even anything for setting up relocate ganks. This is just about keeping Dro alive.
Yeah,
I think,
sustain
this
and
IO.
push. Yeah.
It doesn't even need
They
to
don't care
go
about the
anywhere.
ulti at all,
Yeah.
actually.
They just go push down towers and keep Dro alive. You can send her back if need be.
I guess VP just last banned Bat, right? And then because General doesn't have his hero yet.
Yeah.
I think wouldn't a Tidehunter be really nice
I
in their
honestly think
lineup?
Void is pretty good as well.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Void's good.
Yeah, you have so many ranged heroes.
Yeah,
So
some
like,
kind of
if you-
team fight,
if you
the
pick
hero.
Void, though,
Yeah.
you have literally no damage on the Sven. Like if he gets Warcry off or whatever, and you're trying to kill Sven with those heroes, you're just it's not happening. I think that's maybe the only concern And the other thing too is Chronosphere is a much longer cooldown, whereas if you get like one lasso pick off, it's like a guaranteed tower, and you can do it more consistently. I don't know. I think Void's good too, but I just think that the damage would be an issue.
I'm just trying to think like offlaners that have control and maybe a bit of beef in the front lines.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be nice if Beastmaster wasn't permaban status?
Yeah.
Every game we saw Beastmaster yesterday, he just destroyed. Like,
Yeah, I know. He's super broken. There's no way you can ever let that hero through.
So what does Virtus Pro do? Because you kind of know what's coming from Na'Vi, right? They're not hiding what they're going to do.
Yeah.
So what's their plan?
Well,
How
I
do you
think
gonna deal
honestly,
with that?
with the 3 heroes that they have, they can already take it late game. Like,
Okay.
I don't think that's really a problem for them. So
how are they going to
it's-
make it to late game?
they can either do hyper aggression in the lanes, like we saw them try to do before when they beat Na'Vi that one game.
How about a Tinker?
Tinker's not bad actually. Tinker actually would fare pretty decently against these heroes because the only catch they have right now. Okay, they're just gonna take the bat now.
Way.
They know it's gonna get banned. Or no, wait, that's VP's bat.
Yeah, but they
So
would
they're
have
deny
otherwise.
picking it. Yeah, they're deny picking it
otherwise have
from
to ban it.
Na'Vi.
Io's pretty good against Batrider, to be honest. It's probably
It
one of
is.
the best counters, maybe.
It is, but I think it's a denial pick, and whatever hero they're gonna pick for G, they just probably don't prioritize it very highly, and they know that Na'Vi are either gonna pick or ban it depending on.
Okay, so Navi's draft is basically let's group up and push. We get a few levels on Drow.
Yeah.
We push extremely fast. But if the Batrider just lassos him, drags the Drow back, all of a sudden their push is completely shut down. You know,
Yeah, if you can get the opening, then it's super
Exactly,
strong.
yeah.
Plus, again, it's the synergy with the rest of the lineup. They have vision with track.
They have this
have
movement
glimpses.
speed
Yeah,
from
there's
Sen.
so much chase potential. It's like if you mess up a push and you don't disengage properly, you're losing like 2 or 3 heroes every single time. That is the scary thing about playing into VP's draft, no matter what kind of heroes you're actually fielding. But the thing with Navi's draft is it's a very all-in push.
I mean, it's game 1. This is the chance to try it out, right?
Well, I mean, it's not really trying it out. The Navi do this. You know, this is.
No, I mean, like this is the chance to go all in. They don't need to think about. This
I
is
think
the
they
only
would do
game
it
they have.
anyway,
Yeah?
honestly. Even on the 3rd game. I just
Okay.
think that that's what they feel comfortable with.
I mean,
And
that's
fine.
Na'Vi, yeah.
But you just got to know going in. It's like this lineup has to succeed in the first 20 to 25 minutes.
But if there's anyone in the world that knows how to deal with this, it's going to be VP. I mean, so
They
many.
play this too.
I mean, yeah,
FNG was like one of the pioneers of the Dro draft, so he definitely knows the weaknesses.
for sure. All right, they're going to take out, I mean, you do not want that Death Prophet rolling up on your towers with that kind of push. I mean, they have got to go all in early, so don't want to be on the defensive. Am I right here for Na'Vi?
Yeah, but at the same time, it's also giving respect to the bounty, because normally against a hero like Death Prophet, you just say, okay, well, we can pressure her with a Chen, and maybe we get a kill or 2 as soon as the puck hits 6, but I think it's just saying, yeah, we're a little bit scared that if we can't control that hero, it's going to be too much. So I think that's giving a lot of respect to VP, actually.
Yeah, VP actually ban out the Void, like we spoke about as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so they still need that offlaner that's... Maybe we saw Tidehunter yesterday, it did very well. Like,
This is actually really nice from FNG, like this draft, because you talked about the 2 control heroes. That is such a hard counter to Puck, by the way.
And to Io as well.
That lane is just brutal. Even
Is
with
there a chance they
Drow
swap up lanes here at this point?
aura. I suppose they could put General on Puck and give Dendy something that matches up better against the
Do you
Venom.
put Io Drow mid?
I actually wouldn't hate Venom.
Venomancer?
Yeah.
As an offlaner?
No, as a
No
mid.
mid.
Okay.
And then offlane Puck.
5 seconds.
You were saying that you didn't understand the Veno against Templar last time. What's different about this
That
game?
was a support Venom.
Ah, okay, so you're thinking
Mid
mid
Venom
carry
crushes TA.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it has Drow Aura. So it's like, even if the supports come to your lane, you would be able to keep the lane like completely frozen or even push the tower. It's very hard to gank.
What about if they just go with Invoker and then they put the Puck in the offlane?
Yeah, they could do that too.
Because, like, it's pretty hard matchup against TA as Invoker, but with the Drow Warrior, you might get
You could even go Quas Wex, honestly,
Yeah.
this game, I think.
How does Io Drow mid go against TA? Is that a chance?
Slardar. All right, there's the control. Io Dro probably does more than okay.
Okay.
Like, you can just get runes, you know, hopefully the bounty is not following the Io because he's following the Chen, and you can get at least one of the runes, use bottle, keep the Dro alive. Dual lane mid, though, I don't know about that.
All right, for me, I'm going to go with Navi. I think General's going to make a lot of action happen with the slider. He's going to get early picks, and then they're going to destroy the towers.
My brain is telling me VP, but my heart's telling me Navi. I don't know what to do.
Okay, you gotta say someone. You already said
I'm
Navi.
going to say it's going to go 3 games. Navi will win the series, but they're going to lose the first game.
Wow.
You said
brave.
Navi.
I'm going to go with VP. Templar Assassin is what I call rock, paper, scissors hero. If you don't have the right kind of hero to beat that shield and take out those ticks, it's not going to happen. They do not have any of that, so VP for this one.
Okay, I'm gonna believe in Navi for this one, so keeping it spread 2-2. Let's hear what our commentators have to think, though. It is time for our lower bracket finals. First game of the best of 3. Virtus Pro versus Navi with Guy and Wagamama.